If you inherited a house through probate, are you aware that it can take up to a year before you can even sell it? And depending on the condition of the house's location, and your circumstances, inheriting a house from a loved one can be a blessing or it may be something that can cause some major obstacles in your life. And it may be especially trying when navigating the probate process in California. Most people aren't aware that if the house is not held in a trust, oftentimes it has to go through the probate process. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you how to sell a property that's in probate and how to navigate the probate process. I'm Neal Bartlett, founder of Island View Law, and we help people protect and transfer their assets from one generation to another. First off, if you've recently lost someone, I'm very sorry for your loss. But once you have all of this information in front of you, I hope it'll be much easier for you to figure out your next steps so that you can get the process started. The first thing that you want to do is to get organized and to do your research on everything associated with the property. For example, does the property have a mortgage on it? If there is a mortgage, we need to find out what is owed on it, how much the payments are, and where to even send the payments. Once we have that information, then we need to inform the mortgage company that the owner has passed and that you've inherited the house and are in the process of selling it. But what if the property is behind on payments? If the house is already behind on payments, depending on how many back payments are due, once it sells, the lender is generally repaid in full. However, we need to notify them of the situation so that they don't commence foreclosure. Another situation that we see a lot of the time are properties that have a lot of deferred maintenance and require a lot of repairs in order to be able to sell them at the highest possible value. This is why you're going to want to go to the property and really get a good understanding of the condition of the property. Does it need a lot of work or is it pretty good? Once you have this information, you'll be able to decide whether it makes sense for you to invest money into the property to bring it to a position where it could sell for top dollar, or whether you want to look for a cash buyer. Knowing this ahead of time gives you a selling strategy that will work best for you and your family. Regardless, though, you're going to need to have a realtor who understands the probate process specifically. We can help put you in touch. But who has the right to the property? If you are the only person that is a beneficiary of the estate, you may be able to do whatever you think makes the most sense with the property, with the court's supervision. But if there are other beneficiaries, other siblings, or people that are going to be receiving a share of the estate, it may be much more difficult and a longer process. Here are some options for you to consider. The first option is to simply sell the property and split the profits out of the probate estate. This is usually the easiest option to sell the house because owning real estate with multiple owners can be very difficult and can generate conflict. The second option I see people take is to keep the property and rent it out and split the profits. Holding real estate can be a great investment, but it can also be difficult to be a landlord, especially in California. Another option, if there's multiple beneficiaries, is one of the beneficiaries could buy the other ones out. This is referred to as a buyout. But beyond the decision to sell the property, you also need to understand the tax implications of selling it. Inherited properties generally get a stepped-up tax basis. The stepped-up basis means that the new owners of the property are only taxed on the increased value of the property after they've inherited it. All of this can be very complicated, so make sure you talk to your CPA or your attorney before making any important decisions. If you or someone you know has recently inherited a property that's going to need to go through probate, schedule a 30-minute call with our firm and we'll analyze your entire situation and provide a clear plan to help get you through this process.